Oh, y'all, this is my dog. His name is Ash. Full name, Ash Baganda. Brother Eric. Proud black man. He decided today that I wasn't going to be able to stream without, or I wasn't going to be able to record without him, so he's in the video today. Hi Yarlings, I'm back again with another Tuesday Tea Talk. If you're unfamiliar with my channel, Tuesday Tea Talks are where I sit down with you guys and give y'all a tea about the crochet, small business, and cosplay community, all within 10 minutes. Because if you give me more time, I'm going to start cussing. But if you're returning to my channel, thank you so much for supporting me. It's giving consistent. It's giving we not skipping no more. It's giving the bitches back. But if you're new to my channel, howdy. How are you? But today we're going to be talking about Anime Week in Atlanta. Their convention just passed and I wanted to sit down and talk with y'all because they had just did a major move. They used to be in the Cobb Galleria, now they're in the Georgia World Congress Center. I greatly appreciated the change because boy, we have so much more space, but also, what are we doing exactly? Because this was not a good year. It wasn't a bad year, but it wasn't a good year. It wasn't giving tire, it was giving and we have a flat. Before we discuss any further, if you haven't liked my video already, be sure to like my video. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe so you get notifications when I upload new videos. But let's get into the tea. Anime Week in Atlanta is one of Georgia's largest, I would say one of their largest anime convention. The reason why I hesitate is because every convention says they're like the biggest, but then you have to look at the category. But as far as anime cons go, yes, Anime Week in Atlanta is one of Georgia's largest conventions. And they recently moved from the Cobb Galleria over in Marietta down to the Georgia World Congress Center in downtown Atlanta. For those that are familiar with MomoCon, it's the same building that MomoCon is held in every year for the last, I don't know how many years. But they took up C Hall this year, and the C Hall is one of the biggest areas that you could use in the Georgia World Congress Center. And as much as I'm excited to see the space, and as much as I'm excited to see that we have room to grow into it, I definitely felt the lack of attendance, and I definitely felt that we had too much room, that we might have been better off in B Hall. But who knows? I'm just an attendee. But I'm going to go through the pros of Anime Week in Atlanta first before I go through the cons. And if there's anything I say in here that was a pro for you, feel free to leave it in the comments below. But I would say one of the major pros was that parking. Parking was so much easier at AWA this year. For those that have been going to Anime Week in Atlanta, you already know that we be beefing and fighting, cussing, screaming, and crying, throwing up, dealing with the Braves Center and dealing with Braves fans and sports fans because they want to park and go to their game, and we want to park and go to our con, and the parking lots just be full to all hell, and there's no room for both of us. So that being said, with AWA being down by the Congress Center and with them being moved from also October to December, parking was incredibly easy. Still expensive. Atlanta when I catch you. Another pro was, again, the space. There was so much room to do stuff. Like the crowds did kind of big on Saturday, but we weren't full. We weren't like overwhelmed. I could still see the floor. I could still navigate just fine. So them moving to the Congress Center was definitely a plus because the amount of space we had, we could definitely grow into the con. We could grow into the con more, and I cannot wait to see what they do over the next few years. Another plus, in my opinion, was Vendor Hall. Vendor Hall was huge. There were so many different places I could shop from. I've never seen so many vendors in like one area before. That's not true. I go to Dragon Con. But still, I can't go to all 4 floors at once. The Vendor Hall was impressive, and to see so many different crochet artists warmed my heart because I wanted to see like the different variety they had in Art Alley, and they had a decent variety. But Ayla, what are we doing? Because the amount of vendors was egregious. I'm gonna start there. The amount of vendors was egregious. Because the amount of attendees did not match the amount of vendors that we had, and I ran out of money very quickly. And I was kind of bummed. I wasn't kind of bummed. I was very bummed because I know vendors were not making any money this weekend. Because if I was running out of money and I was only shopping at 4 or 5 places, I know there's going to be at least 10% of vendors that weren't making any money at all. So I was kind of concerned about how AWA was going to handle this because Yeah, having a convention center that is as big as the Congress Center is really cool. But if you have more vendors than attendees, your vendors are not going to be happy. And if your vendors are not happy, you're not going to be able to fill tables. And if you're not able to fill tables, you're going to have empty space. And I really personally feel like we should be able to like make sure everyone gets a piece of the pie and not just crumbs at the end of the day. There was one pro I forgot to mention. One pro which I have not seen before was AWA had an 18 plus section. So I was able to see free range titties drawn. Right now, you woke up for titties. Just like a man. I was able to see taxidermy. I was able to see a bunch of different things that was really, really cool. And I really appreciate that they had an 18 plus section, because I'm sick and tired of us using post-it notes to cover up the naughty bits that we know underneath it is a nipple. But back to the con. So another con of AWA this year was the organization was kind of okay. It was kind of hard to like find other things. Like, given I was mostly stuck in vendor hall the majority of the weekend, but I was not encouraged to go explore, because when I went to go find different panels, like there was 2 panels I wanted to go to, and I ended up unfortunately missing them because I couldn't find the panel rooms. Another con for AWA outside of the sales of vendor hall was also the attendance seemed to have dropped. Because I know a lot of us were either going to Youmacon and coming back from Youmacon up in Tennessee. A lot of us were preparing for Hall Mats and not able to indulge thoroughly into AWA, because Hall Mat is this weekend coming up. It is on Friday. I think, that's the 20th, the 21st? Yeah, it's on this Friday, Saturday, Sunday coming up. So a lot of us were not able to indulge in AWA because it was in between 2 major conventions. Another thing too was, bitch, I just paid rent. My bills. I just recovered from Thanksgiving. I just paid a major bill. And now I gotta go see grandma for Christmas and then maybe go out with my friends for New Year's Eve. Okay, the way the economy is currently set up, I had to stop buying eggs. Like, we down to a 6-pack instead of 12-pack. We making cuts left and right, but like my bills. I really feel like AWA felt the date change more than the convention change this year, because people were not able to indulge and shop the way that they usually do when AWA was held during Halloween weekend versus a holiday month. Let's be fucking for real for a second. It's not just Christmas. It is a holiday month. You have Christmas, you have Hanukkah, you have Kwanzaa, you have New Year's Eve, you have solstice, you have a bunch of different things, and people do not shop at cons for gifts. Some people do. It's a small percentage, but it's not the majority. People are bracing for family events and travel during this time of year, and the con is not a priority, not for a lot of us. I think that AWA's change to the Congress Center is both a good thing. There's a lot of hiccups here and there. I heard that next year they're going to be the same weekend as Hall Mats. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what con, I guess, gets the attendees like next year, because there is in my opinion, there is a migrational pattern. And I do mean migrational pattern, like we are all animals when it comes to nerds and their cons, because there's just some conventions that are really, really big and they get our money every time. And whenever a new con rolls into town or a familiar con rolls into town, like I know a lot of us are putting, 2 pieces of paper into a hat, tossing it back and forth, and whatever piece of paper we get first is the con we're going to go to. But there's just some cons that like we can't skip. So I'm curious to see how Hall Mat and AWA are going to do next year, especially with them being on the same weekend. AWA, I really hope you just get, get more signage. Help me, okay? Because shit, me and Zoro up here looking real lost every time. You said left, we can't tell our west from our east, okay? But if you have any opinions about AWA this year and if you attended, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't really liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And I will catch you guys for another Tuesday Tea Talk next week. Bye. Ash, can I get up? Someone press the button. Yeah, press the button. Yeah, stop the recording. Thank you. Yeah, no, to the left. Thank you.